right. Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd. Welcome to First Things First, Simply Cyber's daily morning cybersecurity threat briefing. I'm your host, Gerald Auger, and over the next 30 minutes, I'll be delivering the top cybersecurity news of the day and providing expert analysis on each of these stories. What it means to you as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break into the industry, we got something for you. Also pretty excited to find out what Pam did. Looking forward to it, Pamela. Shout out and thanks to this stream sponsor, Barricade Cyber Solutions. Cyber criminals have stolen your company's data and derailed your business operations. Barricade Cyber Solutions will help you resolve this ransomware attack and get your business back on track. I want to remind you, if you hold professional certifications that require CPEs, each episode of First Things First is worth half a CPE, which stacks up like a is it In-N-Out Burger that does the stacks where you can order as many patties as you want? I'm not sure. I know there's a place in Vegas that allows you to do that. Long story short, they stack. So it's 2.5 a week, 10 a month. Get your CPEs from First Things First. Just drop a comment in chat or something like that, which is essentially the same as signing the clipboard at the front of the room as you walk in. Good times. If you're live, love it. Thanks for being here. I see you guys all piling in. There's 45 of us in the first minute. This is awesome. Love it. Can't wait to hear all the good news people are sharing in stream. I see it. If you're watching on replay, thanks for catching the stream. Fantastic. That's why we record it and make it available. So work for everybody's schedule. If you want to jump right to the news, that ticker right there, this guy right here. Hold on. Can I kind of point to it? Right there. When that gets to 0, we are going to jump in. So feel free to just grab the timer thing and slide to the right. But for the next 1 minute and 8 seconds, we're going to be welcoming folks into stream. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Somebody, mods, Pamela, what's the news? I want to see. Congratulations. As soon as I'm sure it's awesome, whatever it is. Good to see you, Kimberly. Good to see you, Patrick. Hey, Ricky. Good to see you, Carrie. Always pleasure. Anna Lynn, squad. Love the squad. Yep, CISSP mentor. Thanks for joining the squad. Good to see you. Yeah, coffee. Hey, Mark Lester. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's well over in your neck of the woods. Amadou Ba. Yes. What's up, Blue Crab State? Hey, Nathan. Good to see you. From the UK. Thanks for checking in. Oh, nice. Awesome, Pam. Congratulations on the cert. Whoop, whoop. Hey, can I, what would be an appropriate, yeah. There you go. Throw you some Mario coins, Pam. It's the best I got. All right, guys, this is cool. I started the timer a little early so we can dive right in. A lot of great information we're going to be dealing with today. So if you want to play along, some of you may be familiar with this technique. We are going to cisoseries.com. cisoseries.com, David Spark and his gang are always delivering spicy hot daily podcast, which allows us to piggyback on it. So if you decide that Simply Cyber's First Things First is not your speed, that's cool. No judgment. But consider getting your daily briefing from cisoseries.com. Let's get into the news.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
It's Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. Solana network goes dark after bot swarm. A swarm of bots hit the popular NFT minting tool called Candy Machine over the weekend, hitting it with 4 million transaction requests and 100 gigabits of data per second, ultimately pushing validators of the blockchain out of consensus. The network went dark for roughly 7 hours as a result, only coming back online after restarting the validators in an effective hard fork. It's unclear at this point how the bot swarm caused it to lose consensus. The spy...
All right, guys. So, I'm not going to pretend here. We got some, what is it? Crypto? Yeah.
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. Well, we'll get as many crypto sound effects as we can. Okay, guys. I don't know much about Solana. I know it's a network kind of like Ethereum as far as I know, which allows, and this is going to get way deep into the crypto stuff, but the way that crypto works, you have a bunch of decentralized validators who are all competing to validate a transaction before it gets written to the ledger. And I believe if you're one of the validators that's selected for the validation process, you get some there's some value to you, whether it's like a part of the transaction or something like that. Anyways, it looks like somebody was trying to do one of two things here with basically weaponizing a botnet. So normally we see botnets get used for denial of service, distributed denial of service, misinformation campaigns. Those are kind of the standard use cases for botnets. This one looks like it was trying to attack this Solana network. Now, I don't know if the goal was to have the bots be the validators, or what actually happened here is because of all the traffic, because of all the noise, the validation process got all mucked up and effectively brought the Solana network down. This is a really interesting observation just from the like when you read like the white papers on how these things work, they always work beautifully, right? Oh, this is going to change the way finance works for everybody, decentralize the world. Okay. And then like in practice, this is a vulnerability, right? If you clog the network with a bunch of noise, the actual process of validation can't occur. So I don't know if this, it makes me wonder if this was like a proof of concept kind of thing. They did do a hard fork and bypassed it. So there are workarounds, but you really, I don't know, you don't want to be doing hard forks in the middle of production, right? That sounds like a disaster recovery plan more than a normal business operations plan. So anyways, long story short, crypto, high risk, high reward.
Where in Spain falls mostly on the politicians. The Spanish government announced that mobile phones belonging to Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and Defense Minister Margarita Robles were both infected in mid-2021 with NSO Group's Pegasus spyware. Both devices had information exfiltrated. Last month, Citizen Lab reported that dozens of pro-independence Catalan figures in Spain were targeted with Pegasus software as well. NSO maintains Pegasus is used by foreign government clients to target serious criminals, and that it does not obtain any information from Pegasus or know which targets its clients use it on.
Oh, nice. The old plausible deniability. Gotta love that that playbook move. So, guys, like I wish I had a sound effect for like here's my shocked face, right? Like think about this, dude. You have a piece of software that can zero click completely compromise mobile devices. Now, NSO Group says that they only hold on. Let me punch in a little bit. NSO Group says that they're only going to sell this to law enforcement of the nation state level for serious criminals. But like, obviously, what's the due diligence they're doing there? A lot of that information would be sensitive. Hold on. A lot of that information would be sensitive, right? So what level of validation do you have to provide to NSO Group? Oh, by the way, with a duffel bag full of cash to allow them to say, oh yeah, no, that's a righteous use case for Pegasus, so go for it. On top of that, they say, NSO Group, and for good reason, they say that they don't track any of the telemetry or any of the use of Pegasus. Once you get it, it's in your hands. Just like, here's a handgun. We don't track where the bullets shoot, right? Obviously. Well, this plausible deniability, it's such a farce, dude. Like, obviously, NSO Group, people are going to use this. It's an incredibly powerful weapon for espionage. Now, I don't know what is going on in Spain or this Catalan group, and I think this was from a few years ago because this is all coming out. But obviously, guys, this is a story that could write itself as like a cheap like film school student storyline for their second year in cinematography. Oh, we've got two powerful regimes controlling a country, and one of them uses cyber weapons to eavesdrop and have asymmetrical information of the opponent. Wow, what a shocker! Like, obviously, this is going to happen, guys. The only thing is, okay, so two things. One, obviously, this was going to happen, and the NSO Group got their hand caught in the cookie jar with this one. So my question is it really like, is the focus more on the group that was targeting this Catalan group? Like, where are the questions? Like, who bought the NSO Group Pegasus software? And the other thing I'm thinking of is like, how many other regimes are leveraging Pegasus, right? That we just don't know about. I assure you, NSO Group is not paying their bills with one client out of Spain. You know what I'm saying?
Security isn't top of mind for mental health apps. Mozilla's Privacy Not Included guide did an analysis of 32 mental health and prayer apps across app stores. It gave 29 of the apps warning labels for concerns over how the apps were managing extremely sensitive data, with vaguely defined privacy policies over how it was handled. Most apps also had poor security practices, letting users create accounts with extremely weak passwords. Some therapy apps collect user transcripts, while others collect user information for third parties and share info for advertising purposes. This seemingly isn't new within the industry. A 2018 study by the journal Internet Interventions found that less than half of 116 apps for depression had any privacy policy at all.
Oh my God, what the hell? So this is terrible, guys. Hold on, let me look at this. Okay. So first of all, congratulations, or thank you for doing this work, Mozilla. Okay. So looking at mental health apps and the privacy. So privacy protections across any app is really important. And we saw Google's released that SDK just recently, which allows you to integrate privacy settings into your apps. We've seen iPhone for a year or two now where it pops up and it's like, hey, like Pandora wants to access your camera. It's like, it's a music app. Get back from my camera, Pandora, right? Like it makes no sense. So I like that they're cutting into this vertical of the apps, the mental health apps, guys, at least in the United States. I know we have an international audience in chat. In the United States, mental health has a stigma associated with it. Now, we're getting further away from that, where it's becoming much more socially acceptable to seek mental health assistance and get mentally healthy. But there's still a bit of a stigma associated with it. So it's a very private matter, especially if you actually need or are seeking mental health assistance. For these mental health apps, which by the way, I think is fantastic. It's very private, it's targeted, it's affordable, right? Not everybody can afford healthcare, let alone mental health care with a actual certified professional. So these apps provide an awesome example. I find it gross. It's gross that, but it's capitalism, which sucks. I find it gross that they're taking this information and they're selling it. And they can, by the way, they can use it to not just tailor ads and stuff like that for you, but also they know what your weaknesses are. They know what your triggers are. They know what your struggles are, right? And with AI and machine learning, you can just suck that baby up and then throw it into natural language processing, start pulling out, emotional dispositions and stuff like that, start making judgment calls on those individuals. Oh, this person's vulnerable, would be willing to conform to, buying oil of Olay soap, or perhaps being radicalized. You see what I'm saying? Like it can go quite quickly down a rabbit hole or to an extreme. So I don't like that they're selling the transcripts. I find unless there is something, some therapist is going to be going over the transcripts and providing you like patient care. And in that case, the transcripts and the control of that information should be incredibly secure. So anyways, whatever. This is just so on brand for 2022. But again, if the app is free, you are the product, right? So I don't know, man. It's double-edged sword. Kind of sucks.
He fished for $23.5 million.
Oh, I heard about
Department
this.
of Justice convicted California resident Serkan Oyuntur for multiple counts related to phishing activities against the Defense Department, finding he incurred $23.5 million in damages. This began in September 2018 when Oyuntur registered a DIA-MIL.com domain for its phishing operations,
Typo squad,
similar to the legitimate DLA.MIL domain. He used the domain to send emails to users of a vendor database to a fake login.gov site, where Oyuntur would steal credentials. He eventually obtained credentials for a Southeast Asian corporation with active fuel provision contracts and changed the banking information to a foreign account he controlled.
I know it might be considered extreme, but can we try this person for treason? Right? I mean, they're literally stealing money that's supposed to go to pay for Department of Defense jet fuel. Okay? Scum. And I get whatever criminal opportunity, but this dude clearly had a plan, right? The plan is I'm going to register a fake domain that will confuse people. I'm going to steal their credentials. By the way, he made a lookalike site, so it wasn't an accident. It wasn't like he was going to have a legitimate website that had a similar name. And oh my goodness, what happened? How did this possible? No, this dude was calculated, deliberate, and what's it called? Premeditated. He knew what he was doing. And $23.5 million, like, dude, you idiot. And he's in the United States too. So like, Jesus, man. So gets the creds, logs into a bunch of different sites or accounts, and then finds one for the $23 million. I don't know. It says tricked into paying. I'm not 100% sure if the money actually went through. Okay. 30 years in prison and a fine of $1 million, or twice the gross profits of losses resulting from his offenses. Well, hopefully he's going to short the company, because twice the gross profits of losses is pretty terrible. But 30 years, good. Dude, punishment should be a deterrent. That's the reason that we have punishment associated with crime, to deter people from committing the crime. Jeepers, man. So anyways, this one's a good one. Guys, 800-171 is not going to stop you from this one. Okay. Educate your end users. Look at domain names. If you work in the federal IT space, which many of us do, use this as an opportunity to educate not just the business side of the house, but like the end users. And it's a simple story. Different typo squatted domain name, phishing email, fake login page, and then cash money, right? Randy Moss.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, straight cash, homie, right? I mean, it's like the simplest crime right here, and it made $23.5 million. I'm going to keep doing Simply Cyber and Threat Gen. I think that's going to play out long term for me. But Plan B, phishing for $23.5 million.
Now let's thank today's episode sponsor, Census. Patient data on millions of Grindr users were collected from a digital ad network and offered for sale. This data did not include personal information like names or phone numbers, but could certainly be used to infer intimate relationships or establish home addresses of users. Grindr cut off the flow of location data to ad networks in 2020, but historical data may still be obtainable. The company said it originally provided the location data to serve hyperlocal advertising.
All right, hold on one second. They went quick on this one. Okay, so all I'll say on this one is, so Grindr, guys, like I'm not an expert on this. Grindr is like Tinder, except as far as I know, it is for it's a gay dating app designed for men. Women may be able to use it. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it targets men. And the problem is that they were selling location data just like every other freaking app. And that location data can be weaponized, because if you see two people moving around together with their location data, you can infer that they're together. If you see location data sitting at a commonly accepted gay bar or gay male location, you can infer that is, the user of that phone is in fact gay, right? Which isn't it's not a big deal, but the problem is, it's not a big deal that the individual is gay, right? Obviously, that's not a problem. The problem is, A, that it's private. B, what if in some countries, I know it was the case in 2012 in Egypt, it's illegal. It's illegal to be gay, right? So there is serious consequences associated with being identified if you're not open about your sexual orientation. And that's part of the problem here. Now, Grindr said that they stopped doing it and that there's historical information. So I guess you could go back if you were like someone's running for office and you're going to try to out them or something like that. I don't know. Really, the only thing I'm going to say about this that's interesting is if you go back to a ShmooCon talk, I attended ShmooCon in 2012. Colby Moore, Sinek gave a talk. Let me see if I can do this. 2015. 2015. Yeah. Oh, it was with Patrick Wardle? Huh. I didn't even realize that Patrick Wardle was giving that talk back. Patrick Wardle is one of my favorite speakers. If you ever go to a conference, he's usually talking about Apple. Um, he's fantastic. Anyways, they gave this talk on tracking users via mobile apps, but they focused exclusively on Grindr. Okay. And it was fascinating what they did in this talk. I'll drop a link in chat. Or can I do chat? I can't do chat. Hold on, I can do chat. If you guys get a chance, check this out. It is an awesome, awesome talk. And long story short, they were able to really do a lot with the location data. And this could be translated across any app, right? Tinder, Bumble, like running apps, like any app that is tracking your location. They were able to show that the APIs weren't really secure. So you could just query, you could change it, you could do triangulation quite easily. Very, very interesting. So long story short, you may have your privacy settings to on, but that doesn't mean that people can't target you or track you or find you. Obviously, this is very scary if you're being stalked.
Results from the first defense industrial base bug bounty. Almost 300 security researchers took part in the Defense Industrial Base Vulnerability Disclosure Program pilot over the last 12 months, turning up over 400 valid vulnerabilities. HackerOne ran the pilot in coordination with the Defense Cybercrime Center and Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency, looking at 41 entities and 348 systems. This represents a small amount of the organizations that contract directly with the Pentagon, estimated on the low end to be over 100,000. The Pentagon hopes to take lessons learned from the pilot to inform a larger funded program.
Okay, this is really cool. Threat hunting program and the defense and wait, foreign hackers. Okay, so this is really cool. Okay, we talked a little bit about this the other day. This was a pilot, right? So they only invited a subset of people, and they finished their research. They found 400 vulnerabilities that required action and remediation. I love this, guys. In 2022, we cannot address cybersecurity at the federal level, including the DoD. We cannot address them in a federal bureaucratic way. Like the federal system is too big. It moves too slow. You need to be agile. And I'm not just throwing buzzwords out, man. Like you need to be agile and adapt quickly, especially when things are discovered. So having a bug bounty program that can help the defense industrial base, that can help federal IT effectively is absolutely huge. So I hope that they go on to fund this. Obviously, budget will have to be requested to pay for the bug bounty program and the attackers to get in there. There'll have to be a ton of vetting of the potential researchers that are allowed to attack, because obviously you don't want to invite randoms from the international community who may be actually adversaries of the United States under the guise of bug bounty, discovering things. But there is a way forward for this, and I think it's fantastic. I hope to goodness that this continues to be a thing.
Cyber attack rocks Trinidad's largest supermarket chain. Last week, Massey Stores released a statement that it was experiencing technical challenges with its checkout systems, impacting all 21 locations across Trinidad in what was later characterized as a cyber attack. It's unknown if this involved ransomware. The chain was able to open some stores on April 30th, but card systems were completely down, with all stores reopened by May 1st with intermittent card outages. Massey Stores claims no customer or partner data was lost in these attacks.
Yep, that means it was ransomware. I mean, you can't actually say that, because if data was exfiltrated, which is the double extortion scheme, which is pretty popular, you could argue that saying that the data wasn't affected doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't ransomware. This sucks for Massey Stores. I don't know about them, but obviously they're huge supermarkets. Let's see. What? Cardholders will be credited their points by emailing a photo of their entire bill and their Massey card number. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there isn't much story here, guys. 21 locations suffered a cyber attack. You could think of it as a couple different ways. Guys, if you work in retail, I know that's a smaller segment for some of us. If you work in retail, this is a fantastic story to bookmark and come back to as you move forward and try to request budget and really outline the reality of impact for your organization. basically they got hit, right? It could have been malware. I mean, obviously it was malware. It could have been ransomware, but it screwed up their. It looks like their point of sale systems. I'm sure that they have an integrated inventory system on where inventory is at all the locations, so they can ship from the main warehouse, etc. Sucks for them, and they're just a victim.
Your should have patched Tuesday bug roundup. Microsoft patched a bug discovered by researchers at Wiz Research called Exact Replica, which could allow for malicious code execution in Azure PostgreSQL. Rapid7 security researchers warn of thousands of Linux servers impacted by a Redis sandbox escape vulnerability that was already patched by Debian and Ubuntu on February 18th. Microsoft documented a pair of Linux privilege escalation flaws dubbed Nimbus Spawn, which could create a permanent root access backdoor on systems. And QNAP asked users to disable AFP file service protocol on their NAS devices until they fix multiple critical Netatalk vulnerabilities.
Okay. Hold on. Did you guys catch that? This is a story about Microsoft Azure vulnerabilities, and then they just throw in at the end that QNAP has released a statement asking customers to not use QNAP until they fix multiple serious vulnerabilities. I'm telling you guys, I gotta get a QNAP sound effect. Like this is what you should do with your QNAP NAS devices. Just whip it out the window. Those things are gross on your network. Okay, guys. So this is a vulnerability for Microsoft Azure. A cross-tenant bug is no good, right? Obviously, that means that you can go from your tenant, which is like your organization in Azure, to another organization in Azure, which is that would be a major problem. I wouldn't worry too much about it if you are using Postgres in Azure, which is a database. You might want to look into this, but they said a couple things in here that would lower my concern, right? So no one's having to wear their brown pants to work today. They said that it's not being exploited in the wild that they're aware of. It requires chaining together multiple vulnerabilities and having that successfully execute. So this is a very complicated vulnerability to exploit, and Microsoft's aware of it. So hopefully they're taking steps to fix it, right? Again, this is the beauty of cloud, right? You don't control, in some instances, they control the operating system down, right? Especially for like Postgres, that's more of a platform as a service. So hopefully Microsoft's taking the actions, and you don't even have to do anything except sit back, relax, and chill, knowing that this has been patched. See, yeah, Microsoft is patched, so you're good to go. Just interesting to know that cross-tenant bugs exist. You may even want to bookmark this under your cloud security folder in your bookmark manager. I like to keep stories like this lined up. That way, if someone's like, oh, let's move to the cloud, it's completely secure. Or you talk about like breaking out of a hypervisor, like for VMware. Oh, you can't break out of a hypervisor. It's like, oh, here's 4 stories of people breaking out of hypervisors. Now what, Todd? And just like drop the mic. So anyways, there's there's benefit in bookmarking these things in a logical way that works for you. All right. That's going to do it. Let's do this. All right, guys. Let me jam this up a little bit. I don't want to do that. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for First Things First. I want to call your attention to a couple different things, guys. This Wednesday, so tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. For those of you who don't know, I've been playing ThreatGen's Red versus Blue every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. on ThreatGen's YouTube channel, but I pair it with Simply Cyber so you can catch it here. I do a blue team on weeks A, and I do red team on weeks B. It's a simulation where you can be red or blue, and you play against an active adversary on the other side. And I've been trying to make it really interesting. Last time I did the blue team, I did the CIS 18 controls and tested that out as if that was my methodology. This week, so tomorrow, I will be implementing the Australian government's Australian Signals Directorate Essential 8 maturity model. It is a framework that the Australian government pushes down to their federal IT space on the approach to implementing information security. So I'll be educating you on what that Essential 8 model is, but I'll also be implementing it in a simulated model against an active adversary. And we'll see how it stacks up, right? CIS, I was able to defeat the red team. I hope that I'm able to defeat the red team again with my Aussie, oi 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 controls. Okay. Also on Thursday at 4:30, some of you already know this. We're going to be talking with Dr. John Helmus, and really all of you. This is going to be a very high engagement live stream on tattoos. Are they taboo? Are they only for red team people? Are they for corporate people? Can you be a CISO with a neck tattoo? I don't know. 2022 is interesting times. So we're going to talk about the subjectivity of tattoos. What is considered okay? What's not considered okay? Is it, sleeves aren't okay if you can cover it up and not be seen in a business suit? Is that okay? Whatever. We're going to get into it. Also, I've created a Google Drive to share your photos of your tattoos on stream. I think I have a permissions issue with that. But the idea is, guys, me and John will be talking. We'll be getting your thoughts. And if you want, I'd love to show off tattoos on the stream, because people who have tattoos, including myself, I've got 2, looking to get my 3rd. Tattoos are cool. I like them. And they're really an interesting way to showcase your personality. So I think it's going to be a really fun episode, and we'll have a good time with it. Guys, this has been First Things First. I'm Jerry. You guys are awesome. Oh, Josh Mason going to play red team. So Christopher Word's asking in chat if is Josh Mason. Josh is at Wild West Hackenfest here, or Way West Hackenfest this week. Anyways, May 18th, I will be doing this to Josh Mason's red team. I'll be launching massive fireballs and just eviscerating him in red versus blue. I will be the blue team, operating my information security model and approach to securing, and he will be implementing what will ultimately be a failed attempt at taking down my manufacturing plant. All right, guys, have a great day, everyone. Appreciate it. Always open to feedback, constructive feedback on the show, on the sound effects, all those type of things. Here's a couple coins. Take a couple Mario coins. Have a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow at 8 a.m. This has been First Things First.